Yeah, what's up with it, y'all? Dang, man, I don't know what's up with Streamlabs. I've been using Streamlabs for I don't know how many years, and oh my God, it still gives me problems at times. Like, I don't know, it use up too much, whatever, whenever I'm trying to stream. So, what's up with it? A woken one. So, yeah. And then, like I said, my new soundboard, I haven't learned how to use yet. So, I have to go back to the old school fine, go back to the old school fine, because I don't have to do anything. I just plug it in and it works perfect. But like I was saying, I had a experience a long time ago, and it was basically showing me how the truth was a lie. And this is the crazy thing, because whenever, like I said, I have like different experiences later on, it'll show me in another way, like, whether in real life, it'll show me in another way to where I'll see it and I'll be like, oh dang, it'll just have me like kind of tripping out. And this is like one of those times to where I'm just on YouTube doing what I do, and I run across this video right here, Why the Truth No Longer Matters, by Professor Chang. So I just kind of want to play a little bit of it before we get into the chats or whatever we do. I'm gonna play some of it, and then if you want, you can go check the video out yourself. But let's just go and just dive in.
Yeah, so actually, this is a great question, and this is a
Can
fundamental
you hear the
question I'm
welcome one?
trying to grapple with in my series. So this is a new series, and it's really much more a thought experiment than a really structured curriculum. And so I'm slowly trying to untangle who holds real power in the world, and
Hey, it's crazy because to me, I feel like the ideas is what holds power now. It's the ideas and the belief systems that we have.
looking forward, what I will say is that it's really ideas that have true power.
I just said
And we
that.
can
I
metaphorically
just
express these
said that.
ideas, right?
Hey,
And
I'm telling you, the reason I think I even said that is because when you diving in so much, you see it. You start seeing that these ideas and these beliefs that we have, they're entities now. Like they are living entities. They're not what we think of, just these words that are in our head. No, they're generating a reality. They're generating a thing that is living, and it lives within us.
and people have
It's
metaphorically
crazy.
expressed these ideas. I mean, some people use the term Satan to describe these ideas.
Man,
David Icke would
I've
use the
never heard.
term,
That's true.
um,
Hey, and it's weird because that's one of the things that you realize, this too, that just because the name changed don't mean the reality or the thing. The name is the same. It can have different names, devil, being evil, all these different names, but it'll be meaning the same thing. But just because it has a different name, to make it different. That thing over there, it's like, it's not, bro.
that is the end all and be all. And this is counterintuitive, or has not been consistent with how humans have traditionally understood themselves and their world.
And it's crazy because, like you're saying, matter. Like, I think that's what like when you dive in and you see that blackness, that goo, the black goo, which we call the primordial ooze, that's what we call it. But I'm just saying, when you see that and it starts transforming and it starts changing, it's showing you that's your mind. Your mind can create and make anything. And that's what it's doing. It's taking that darkness, the primordial ooze, and it's transforming it into life. It's making it into any being. It can be anything that you decide for it to be. But it's like What if that decision that you are making, that you think you are making, is controlled by something else or someone else?
For most of human history, look at all these ancient traditions, whether it's a Native American tradition, whether it's the Hindu tradition, whether it's a Buddhist tradition, whether like all these different traditions, they all say that it's consciousness that creates reality. And
It it's weird because well, the ones that are here, you heard like a lot of stuff that you hear him say, you're gonna hear. I've said it all. I said this too before, and it's weird because, like I always say, bro, it's a wicked understanding. People don't. It's a wicked understanding. That's why I always say, don't take it so serious.
and as a result, there's like a divine spark in us. It's almost as though God manifests itself through our imagination. And as such, we have agency and control over the reality we live in. And for most of human history, this is true. We live in pretty egalitarian, free um, societies without a sense of property, without a hierarchy, without war. But as human societies continue to develop, we had wars, which creates hierarchy, which creates the idea of private property. And now the elite have been interested in transforming the way we perceive the world. And now they're going to use new ideas that really didn't exist before.
Hey, this is how you know this is truth. Like, because it trickles down. It don't just be the elite. It is like us, regular people now, that are trying to control the narrative and reality of things. We see it 1,000 times on YouTube. It's like I said, one thing can happen, and then from that one thing, you'll have 1,000 videos of everybody giving their own point of view on what happened in that situation or what went on. It don't even, like, a lot of times it don't even be the person that was there that's explaining what they seen, because even what they seen is going to be different than what another person seen that was there. You can have 5 people there that seen the whole thing and have a whole different story. So just think, if those 5 people have a whole different story of what happened, and the what happened is the actuality of it, and then they change it, just think about the ones that's telling the story that's even outside of them that weren't there, and going, this is how I look at it, this is how I feel, you feel me? And they giving their whole point on it, and it's like it changes it all up. See, that's what I feel now about when I look at ancient texts. You got to understand, like, when we watching these ancient texts and we getting this ancient information, it didn't switch so many hands. It's not even the same no more. Because everybody who had their own understanding of it, that's what they wrote. They wrote what they wanted it to be, not what it was. It's like, no, because we got to hold back. We can't put that in there. You feel me? Because that's going to change the narrative. It's going to make the narrative like this. No, that's why it's like nothing is actually real no more. That's why I say the truth is a lie, and it's going to be a lie forever. You feel me? Because the truth, like, almost really doesn't exist. It like, in a sense, to me,
order to essentially enslave us, because if we're able to remember that the divine spark in us, if we're able to remember, like, the world we live in is only transitory, and our soul is eternal. So who cares what happens in our world? Then it's hard.
And that's what I be saying too about a lot of people, like, diving in and they see that a lot of this shit, right, really doesn't matter. Like, you get to that point and you see it, like, dang, a lot of people will take advantage of that. You feel me? Because you start to see, like, what Hitler did or what all these other people did. Like, to us, it's wrong, but to reality, it's just part of reality, and it's going to keep happening. It's a part of reality.
Elite to justify the hierarchy. It's hard for the elite to justify private property. So they need to brainwash us to believe that matter is the end all be all. When we die, there's nothing. So be afraid, obey us, and maybe you'll live a good life. And that very much explains the world we live in today. So that's how I perceive power. Power is really about trying to change our perceptions of the world and trying to make us believe that we are powerless, that we're only a collection of matter, of atoms, of synapses, and once we dissipate, then we're gone.
And that's another thing that I'll be tripping off of, because That's like every religion or everything out there. That's what it takes the light and darkness, and it goes, okay, you're all sinful, so you have to believe in this in order to cure yourself of that sin that you are. You're not good enough. Everything is teaching you that you're not good enough. And then that's when we have to turn, and we have to turn to the ones that, okay, help make me good, because I'm not good enough. And that's not true. It's never been true. But it's like we that's the idea. Still follow that, bro. And we to our kids and to the ones around us.
And it's just,
We
yeah, lead to control our behavior, control mechanism. But I say that explains development of human. And these elites are, of course, change over time. But really, I mean, they're all one power. And you can call this power Satan. You can call this power, interdimensional lizard people. You can call this power whatever name you have for it. Different elites will have different names. It's just
the same energy. It's the same. It's going to take different forms, because bro, reality, life is is your reflection. So this thing that we're calling, like he said, we can call it the lizard people. We can call it Satan. We can call it evil. We can call it's the same energy. It's the same thing. It's the same being. You feel me? But we'll separate it in order so these ones will believe this one over here. And it's the same shit, bro, being disguised. It's like weird as hell. What's
concept.
up, Retro?
So whichever elites are the most loyal to this concept will find themselves in power. The families or the secret societies, the religions that are most dedicated to creating a material world, and who are the most diabolical, the most nefarious in trying to create a material world, will triumph in the end. And so another way of saying this is that, maybe NASA shooting up rockets up into space, it's not really about space exploration. Maybe it's trying to create a framework of the universe that defies our intuitive understanding of the universe. We previously understood the universe as conscious and as spiritual, but NASA shooting up rockets into space, having people land on the moon, having people walk on the moon, demonstrates to us that the material is not conscious, it's material.
Showed me this, and I never really took it all the way in. And I looked in the sky, and everything that was down here was reflected in the sky. It was like on some as above, so below stuff. And I was like tripping on the back of space. And I'm like, how they gonna go to space? You feel me? When space, like, it really don't exist. It was like almost that. It was like the trippiest feeling of just seeing that, look in the sky, and the sky was just a mirror of down here. So whatever was down here was just reflected in the sky. It's kind of weird to think of, bro, because it's like, what the hell is like really going on? It's like, but we don't know at the same time.
And as such, we as humans, through our science technology, can manipulate this material.
Exactly.
And thus you have the atomic bomb. So saying this is century, the atomic bomb, the space landing, NASA, including 9/11, including this war. It's all to create a perception of reality that only the material exists, and that is the true God. Materialism is the true God, and as such, pursue money. You must pursue materialism, and that's what's led to, I would say, tremendous unhappiness. Like mental depression is on an all-time high. It leads to tremendous inequality, tremendous suffering. So
yeah, because like that's the one thing that I even hear spiritual people say. That's one of the strongest things, and like I never could understand it when they always go, well, money is an energy, money is a source, and it's like, damn, they really got us to believe and accept that. And now we live like that. Like, that's what that thing is. And it's like, they got us all to accept it. It didn't matter whether you was, spiritual or non-spiritual. You feel me? They got us to really accept that money was that thing. Like, and it's like it's weird as shit, bro.
Well, I would say that's the world we're living in today.
Yeah, well, I'm done.
There's
I don't know.
one book, Stephen Luke's on power. He has
Nice.
the power, where you have like a decision-making power.
Yeah,
Then you have agenda.
yeah,
If you
that's
set
what I'm
the
saying. When
agenda,
I'm
the second
done,
phase, you have more power. And if you can like set the
gonna be going
worldview,
that. I ain't gonna be.
the
It ain't gonna be
ideology,
that
you have the
long.
most power because that influences the agenda, that influences the decisions. So this like,
I mean, be trying to do videos, but like even like last night, bro, I was supposed to dive in last night. Then my son like, let's play the game, let's do this, and it's like, I'm gonna say it again, like it's weird, like I love diving in and all that, but then even my dive showed me is that my family is, the thing that I created and built myself around, and it's more important than anything. So it's kind of trippy. It's like, because now like that comes first. You feel me? Like the information, this searching, this, you feel me? I didn't search, I didn't seen, I didn't been there, I didn't did it. Like now I'm telling you, bro, like a lot of this stuff, it don't fascinate me like it used to. You feel me? I'm like, bro, I'm chilling, I'm living. I'm chilling. I like to listen to it. I like to talk about it. But at the same time, man, I love to be with the fam. I ain't gonna hold you.
worldview kind of formation and how it leads to power is quite interesting. And in one of your presentations, you talked about how like we used to have the polytheistic worldview, and like the daimon, and it kind of connected us with this divine spark in a clearer way, rather than this like modern scientism individualist worldview that we're all this like separate atoms, we can't cohere, there's no kind of collective movement towards change. And then kind of like that, kind of like like linking that to power was interesting. And so I'm curious how conscious the power elite or whoever has influence wants to promote this view in order to maintain power, or is this an emergent phenomenon where people are just truth seekers, and then some kind of new paradigms have emerged, and then those in power started parasitizing it?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's something that I wrestle with. I believe it's more the latter. So if you look at the development of ideas, it's much more emergent. It's much more accidental than we give it credit for. So I think the development of monotheism, it's counterintuitive. It's an accidental. It's a culmination of an accidental series of events. So let's talk concretely. So the Protestant Reformation marked a radical turning point in Western history, because it gave rise to two questions that never really existed before. Okay, the first question is, what is faith? Before, and people don't really appreciate this, but for most of history,
what is faith?
You didn't really think about faith because all you had to do was follow certain rituals. You had to.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like once it start come crashing down, it all starts come crashing down. It just comes crashing down because faith, like even like faith is some, like, to me now, bro, faith is some bullshit. I hate to say it. It just is, because that's the thing they tell you have to have. Like, you have to have faith. Okay, you have to have faith in this. You have to have faith in that in order for it to actually happen. And like, really, when you think about it, like, how many people out there have faith, and like the faith actually happens to them. And and the first thing we go is, well, yeah, this happened and this happened because I have faith. And then, we go out and we act like we don't, like I say, I'm gonna say it again, we act like we don't see them homeless people out there. Like they don't have faith. Like the drug addicts don't have faith. Like the people that passed for cancerous diseases or anything else didn't have faith. Like, it makes you go, okay, dang, the ones that so-called have faith, that go, okay, the reason this happened because I had faith. What makes them so special? You feel me? Aren't we all special? Or is it just that our minds believe in the different things that they do? Like I said, they create the reality and generate the reality. And then you have this belief system until it all starts kind of come crashing down. Then you go, oh shit, you feel me? Maybe it was different.
Practice certain
But maybe
rituals. You had
faith
to show
works.
in order to
Maybe
show
it
devotion to
only,
the gods, and that
dope.
was it. Um, so that's the first question, faith. The second question is who goes to heaven, and this was never really a question before because it was assumed everyone went to heaven, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's what we
there's
used to
divine spark
think.
in us. Our souls are eternal. So when we die, our souls go up to heaven, and then we reincarnate at a later point, maybe 100 years, 1,000 years, who knows? Okay, but this was something understood.
But they hijacked that though, if you think about it, because now no, everybody don't go to heaven. The bad people don't. I always said this, like when you see people that have the near death experience and they say, well, when I went to heaven, all the people I love was there. And it make you go, dang, well, how come none of the hateful people that you have, bad entanglements with, how come they weren't there? How come it's only all the good people? And it's like, oh yeah, this the idea that we done built upon ourselves and made.
Throughout the ancient world. And with the Protestant Reformation, in order to counter the influence of the Catholic Church, Martin Luther and others disputed these two ideas. First of all, they said that faith is not about rituals. Faith is about your devotion to God. Before, the Catholic Church emphasized justification by works. Just follow the rituals. Just do what the church tells you, and you're good. And Martin Luther said, no, that can't be true. Because obviously he wants to undermine the power of the Catholic Church, right? So he introduced a new idea called justification by faith. You have to show true faith in God. You cannot waver. Now, this is key because for the first time, it creates the idea of religious anxiety and fear. Because how do you know you truly believe in God?
I think that's one of the questions I always had, because it's like, I go, dang, because when you think about it, everybody God is different. That thing that we believe to be God, everybody's is different. Like, your God don't have the same system of understanding as mine, as theirs don't have the same system of understanding, even though it's all the same God, which we don't understand. It's like we create our own illusion of what God is or who God is to each individual itself. That's what's weird, because that's when, like from that point, from that, me just seeing that's when I myself can tell that, dang, no, you are God. Because we always say, we say it like in the religious text, what it say, you were made in the image of God. So it's like, wait, if you was made in God's image, like, wouldn't you? Okay, but that's neither here nor there. But y'all can go check this video out. Like I said, my family trying to do some stuff, so I'm gonna have to cut this one short. And like, hopefully, I can come back later on and do a live to where we can actually just kind of chop it up. But the fam is calling, so y'all have a good day, man. Do what you do, and just man, be good to people. That's the reflection, man. I think is just being good to people, like no matter what. We're gonna always have the ups and downs of life happening. It's gonna always have, we're gonna always have that. That's not gonna stop. You feel me? But you yourself already know how you want to be treated, and just treat people like that. That's the way I look at it nowadays. But on that note, I'm out. All right, Retro Roman, I holla. You feel me? I'm a holla, y'all. Peace out. Let me go on and get up out of here and do what I'm gonna do with the fam. And then, like I said, later on, I'll come back and do a live so we can just chop it up, because I found that video, bro. I found the video. The one dude that lived the whole other life off salvia, bro. I said, what the hell? He said his friends was like pulled him out the water. Like once he took it, he woke up to his friends pulling him out of the water, and he was in a jet ski accident or something, a boat accident, and like they was telling him he was almost drowned, and he like, nah, bro, I'm on the Salvia experience. I said, what the hell? That shit is crazy. But I think we're gonna check that one out later because that was a good, and I never seen the video. I heard people talk about it, and it finally came up in my algorithm. So that's what we're gonna do later. But I'm a holler, man. Y'all have a good day. Peace out.